Hello friends and potential friends. Today is February 8th, 2019, and here in Central Florida today is officially our last frost date. It's a little bit over 70 degrees right now, about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just going to hold this while you let you watch and listen a little bit to what I woke up to this morning. Hope y'all could hear those. This is the third day in a row we've had a huge flock of robins coming through. I believe they're headed north. I hope they're headed north, because that usually means to us that spring is getting here. And I am ready. I'm sure most of my friends up north are ready also, but I'm not trying to rub it in or anything, but it's looking nice down here. Should be up there before too long. I think I'm going to take a walk around and see what kind of signs of spring I can find around here. It's really kind of hard to think about winter when you consider that these two avocados have been outside all winter this year, and they haven't even lost their leaves. They're starting to show some new growth. There's a little gardenia over next to them and a couple of elderberries down there at the end. All of these have been sitting right here through the whole winter. They say today's our last frost date, but to be honest, we haven't had our first frost yet this year. So hopefully we're not going to get it. Scan around a little bit at the rest of the garden here. There's my rosemary going crazy. I took some of the clippings from these into the laboratory last fall to make sure I had some left over, and now you can see the main plant has just been going crazy. I'm gonna have to be trimming that thing. Here's my mystery plant back there I've never told you about. Maybe one day. Oh, I got blossoms on one of my jalapenos. Still have a couple of peppers left on the datil pepper. Let's walk back and look at the raised beds. Let's see how well this shows up. We have clover producing flowers all over the place. Trying to get some drip lines going in here. Collards are doing great. Swiss chard is starting to wilt in the heat already. Roma tomatoes back here. And several of them on the vine. They'll start turning pretty soon, hopefully. Still have some sweet potatoes down there that were volunteers. Decided to join me. And we'll just scan around the backyard a little bit. See what's going on. This is what I see going on. Hold still, bees. Hopefully you can see those. As you probably noticed as I scan around, a lot of weeds out here. That's because I don't mow my backyard during the winter. I leave it up, and usually these things come up with flowers right off the bat when it warms up. And if you look real close out there are hundreds of honeybees hitting those flowers right now. They're loving it. Wish I could get some of them to move into my beehive. Florida's got some pretty strict rules regarding raising bees, but the way I figure it, that back there is yard art. And if a swarm of bees decides to move into it, I'm not going to argue with them. Here's this is the waste pile. This is where I dump used bird seed. As you can see, a lot of it tends to grow. Got me a little sunflower going down there, it looks like. Oats or barley or something popping up in there. But it just grows and grows. I dump it out here and it grows. I dump more out. More wildflowers out here. Still lots of robins up in the tree. That's my oak tree there. One of them. And you can see the robins popping around here. They're just going crazy. A few what I call honeysuckles back there. Call them honeysuckles because when I was a kid we learned you can pull them flowers off and suck on the base of them and you get a little bit of nectar out of each one. Okay. Over in here, my head out of the way. Fig is still trying to survive. Hurricane Matthew dropped a big oak tree on this fig a couple years ago. Took me a couple weeks to find the thing. It was flat. I've been propping it up and hoping it'll come back. There's part of the oak tree over there. Another part of it over there. That sucker was about 50 or 60 feet tall. Fell out of my neighbor's yard. Oh, sugarcane leaning over a lot, but it never froze back this year, so it's still growing. A lot of new shoots coming up down there. And back here by my compost pile, looks like a mess, of course, but that's making me some pretty good soil. You never know what's going to grow out here. There's a little ornamental of some sort. I don't know all these ornamentals names because I don't pay attention to them if I can't eat them. There's one there, there's another one over there. I pulled a couple more out of here a couple months ago and have them in pots. I got one little potato down here. That guy volunteered. I've pulled tomatoes out of here and various other things, onions, you name it. Lots of stuff grows in my compost pile. And wrapped around it we got hibiscus. The hibiscus are in full bloom. Let's see, there's a blue blossom, hasn't opened yet. One down here that has opened. Pretty orange one up here. Next to it we have a bunch of loquats. I call those Japanese plums, but most people call them loquats. I'm waiting for these things to start ripening because my little sister has asked me to send her a loquat tree. I think I'm going to send her seeds instead. I'm not sure how I could get one of these through the mail. And she's on the other side of the country, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm working on getting those for her. Oh, we got more hibiscus back along here, all over along here. Really need to trim those bushes back and try to shape them a little bit. Every morning I can come out here, and if I get up early enough, I can get enough fiddleheads to make a salad. They're popping up all over the place. These ones are getting just a little bit too big to eat, but there's more in here and they keep popping up all the time. So it really is beginning to look like spring around here. Everything is starting to go crazy. Look at all those robins. I do hope the robins are on their way up north, because that sure, they may hang around here for a day or two, but they should be headed north here pretty quick. And I don't care what them groundhogs say. I trust the robins better than the groundhogs. I think spring is here. Okay, I think that's enough. See if I can cut this up and get it out there for you so my friends up north can at least get a little bit of virtual spring while they're waiting for their real one to get there. We'll see you on the next one, guys.